What is up guys, Arolf here back again with another video, and today we'll be taking a look at the Marvel Studios The First 10 Years Marvel Legends Iron Man, Tony Stark, and Iron Man Mark 1. So let's get into it. So taking a look around the packaging, Marvel Studios up top. On the side you got Iron Man 2008 brief description. It says Legend Series 1 on the bottom. On the other side, cool artwork with the Iron Man logo. On the back, brief description, so pause if you want to read that. Cool poster. And on the bottom, UPC. Scan if you want it. Right there. And without further ado, let's get into it. Doing some size comparisons, here is Tony Stark and Iron Man next to some other 2-packs from this 10th anniversary line, more 2-packs from the 10th anniversary line, and a couple of singles. The 3-pack here with Thanos, Iron Man, and Doctor Strange, and the single Ultron. Also the Hall of Armor, excluding Mark II. Now comparing the Tony Stark head sculpts here, this new Tony Stark head sculpt is basically the same as the Civil War one. It's just that they added that photoreal tech to it. The only difference is the hair color here, which is a brown opposed to the black color. Pretty much the same sculpt. And if you want, you could attach this new head sculpt onto the Civil War figure, which I think looks amazing. But the haircut is like from the Iron Man 1, 2 era. From Iron Man 3 and above, he has that new haircut, which I wish in the future that they give us a new head sculpt. But other figures you could attach this head sculpt on is the Mark IV, which you could just rest on it on the ball peg itself. The Mark 6, yeah, I'm losing track. I think this is Mark 6, and also the Mark 7 right here, which is a snug fit. But it doesn't look as great because it looks like he has a long neck and his head looks a little too small on this. And finally, the Mark 50, which I think looks perfectly, just a little bit small. So taking a closer look at Tony Stark here, starting off with the head sculpt. They actually nailed the sculpt on this one. I think the digital printing is amazing, but it almost looks like Robert Downey Jr. if you look at it on some certain angles. But I really do like the sculpt of this head sculpt that they use from Civil War. But other than that, the suit itself, it's basically a copy and paste of the Everett Ross, the other suited figures. It's just that this one is the colors from the first Iron Man movie at the end of the movie, where he's doing that little speech saying that he's Iron Man and stuff, which you all know that. So this is the suit that he wore. Just like I said before with the Everett Ross figure, this has some fine texturing here and there. He does have peg holes at the bottom of his feet, and he's pretty much a reuse figure. Now for Tony Stark's articulation here, starting off with the head, it's on a ball hinge, so it does rotate all the way around. His head can look up that far, which is pretty decent, and downward that much, which is also decent, but not great. And he also has the tilty shifty head movement right there, which is great as well. Arms here do rotate all the way around, bend outward that far, which is quite unfortunate. It's just how his shoulders are sculpted, and inward that much. He also has a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows here. Wrist here do rotate all the way around. They bend out upward that far and downward that much. On the other hand here, rotates all the way around. It could bend up that far if you want to do some repulsor blasts, and downward that much. Now his torso here is on a hinge, so he can click forward once that far, and he can click back once that much right there. He also has a waist rotation, which does rotate all the way around. His legs can kick forward that far, so he can sit down after being traumatized by Thanos. And back, not that much, but a little bit. He has a upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees, like so. Feet bend downward that far, and up that much. And he also has the ankle pivot. And doing the ankle pivot test, he is good to go. So now taking a closer look at Iron Man Mark 1 here. This is basically the same figure that we got from 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago, roughly 10 years ago. Quite unfortunate because I did have this figure before and I hated it because of the articulation, the sculpting on some parts like the arm here, but other than that, this is a nicely sculpted figure, but just updated with paint apps. So that's pretty much what's new about this figure, some paint apps. Now this little gimmicky thing which they kept, you also come with this little orange missile piece. It's supposed to be like a flamethrower effect. It's spring loaded, so you just attach it there and then pull it back and then it'll just spring out like so. Very stupid. I don't know why they included that on this 10th anniversary. They should have just done a re-sculpting of this. It's pretty lazy of Hasbro. Even though that the paint is it looks really nice, it doesn't make up for the fact that this is still a terrible figure. But the sculpting is okay. The proportions on this one look kind of weird. I didn't like it before and I still don't like it now with the newly paint apps. And they have the audacity to stamp the Marvel 2018 little logo right there, just telling you that they made this in 2018. It's just terrible. Terrible. Now for the articulation, his head goes side to side like that, up and down like that. Okay, I'll be a little more enthusiastic. Arms do rotate outward that far, all the way around. Bend at the elbow right there, rotation at the elbow, no wrist rotation whatsoever. Same thing with this one, bends that far forward. It's just disappointing. Waist, rotate side to side, doesn't rotate all the way around. I don't want to break it, I'm pretty sure it does. Legs kick forward that far, which is pretty decent, and back that much, which is decent. No waist or upper thigh swivel. Bend at the knee, terrible. Not even 90 degrees. Rotation at the knee. Feet bend down that far, which is terrible as well. And up, I think doesn't move up that far. And it also has a swivel. And doing the ankle pivot test should be easy. And he's good to go. Yeah, that is it, guys. Hope you guys like it. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell, turn on notifications because there are more videos coming. Overall, this is a bad 2-pack. It's not even worth it for the Robert Downey Jr. head sculpt. Hopefully in the future they give us a new updated head sculpt from Infinity War or from Avengers 4 with his new haircut, because this kind of a comb over look to Tony Stark is kind of the old haircut from Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2. So hopefully we get that new haircut and updated head sculpt in the future toy lines for Avengers 4. But for the completionists out there, go ahead, get him. He's not worth the $50. Hopefully Walmart will reduce price him to like at least 30 or at least 20. So he's not a worth it 2-pack. They tried. They added the new photo tech. They tried to reuse and repaint the old sculpt from 2008. It's just, oh my gosh, please. That's why this review is so short. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Oh yeah, Thing is coming out. Marvel Legends, The Thing from Fantastic Four is coming out right after this. So hope be on the lookout for that, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So yeah, that is it, guys. Hope you guys like this video, not these figures. So yeah, Arolf Mora, signing out. Peace.